Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about table service restaurants racing to the bottom of the barrel, or maybe the bottom of the cracker barrel. Haha. We're going to talk about Chipotle and their tone-deaf CEO talking about how they need to lean into their $100,000 plus income earning audience, which means they're going to start charging more. You know they're going to charge more.
It's probably going to be shittier food for more money.
That's exactly it. But did this guy go to the Disney College of Knowledge? Because that's their methodology too. They're like, we're going to charge you more for less. So good luck with that, Mr. Chipotle CEO. And then we're going to talk about Cracker Barrel doing some belt tightening. Apparently, they are suspending travel for a lot of their people, their salespeople, whatever. And
until later in 2026.
Yeah, until they figure out if they're going to make money or not.
To me, that's a big red flag.
And they're not allowed to buy alcohol, which again is a big red flag because it's expensive. And they have to eat at Cracker Barrel because they can just write it off. We're going to talk about that too, because it seems like that disastrous rebrand did more damage to Cracker Barrel than they want to admit. And you can't just walk it back. And you certainly can't walk it back, in the span of a week or two, which is what they tried to do. Like, oh, okay, we're going to put back, guys, come into Cracker Barrel. I'm still getting Cracker Barrel emails that are like, hey, guys, come into Cracker Barrel this weekend, please, for the love of God.
Free, whatever.
Yeah, free corn, whatever. Just get in the Cracker Barrel. Yeah, it's not going well for them. And Chipotle, I haven't been to a Chipotle in probably 20 years.
Well, I'll tell you what. The thing about his comments here, yeah, 100. We're gonna try to basically raise prices and lean into those people with money, and depending on where you live, $100,000 isn't a whole lot, especially when costs keep going up and up and up and up. Now, if you live like in a small town somewhere, $100,000 might be great. But in most areas of the country, that's not, a lot of money. That's like, middle class, if that. And, they have all the other rising expenses on food and medicines and everything else. They don't have the money to go spend more money on Chipotle, which most of the restaurants have shitty reviews.
Yeah, it's weird to mention that because, talking about California, and I spent a good chunk of my life in California, and I remember my stepdad was making six figures in the 90s, and we were just getting by. That was in the Bay Area, but still, like the
Bay Area was worse than most.
Oh, it was expensive, but I'm just saying, like, it doesn't go very far. But he's basically like, yeah. So our regulars, because apparently their attendance is down.
I wonder why.
Can't imagine why. But so the solution, instead of walking back the prices, which a lot of places like Taco Bell and McDonald's have been trying to do more value meals, because Taco Bell even got crazy expensive at one point. They wanted like freaking $10 for a bowl.
The lady who was running up Cracker Barrel used to run stuff at Taco Bell. The
CEO of she came from Taco Bell. So that, like, this mindset, lean into your best customers and then gouge them more. I mean, eventually you're gonna hit a ceiling on that, and especially in this economy where a lot of the people that are getting laid off in this economy are white collar workers. These are your people that are probably making the six figures. They might not have a job. Yeah, gouging them is not a good business strategy. I'm just saying. So let's talk about this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
If you want to pick up a copy of Crimson Ring, go out to Kickstarter. It's up for a limited time. We do have the hardcover graphic novels available for those of you who are not aware. It's a book we did about 4 years ago, and it's been out of print for a while. And we have all kinds of bonus material and everything that goes with it. So check it out on Kickstarter. Thank you very much for the support. And let's talk about this. The CEO of Chipotle was caught on a recording indicating they're going to keep raising prices because they can, according to Wall Street Apes.
Such an asshole. I'm sorry.
So let's take a look at this here.
We learned that 60% of our core users are over $100,000 a year in income, in average household income. That gives us confidence that we can lean into that group in a more meaningful way, whether it's the solo occasion and or group occasions, to really drive meaningful transaction performance.
So translation, we can lean in. I mean, we could squeeze them for more money to improve our performance, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
So no one's going to go there because that got leaked. They're not going to come to your restaurant because they know you're trying to gouge them, and your reviews aren't great and your prices are too high and your food isn't that great lately.
It's mid. And I mean, this is kind of what's going on with Wendy's and Taco Bell. So Wendy's is getting pummeled. They're closing a whole bunch of locations. And, I've said before, you literally can go to Applebee's and eat in a sit-down restaurant for the cost of going to Wendy's. Wendy's is incredibly expensive now.
Well,
And
you said about Pizza Hut too was closing a bunch of locations, and they're saying, people in the comments are saying it because it was too expensive. I say, you know what, Pizza Hut wants to win people back. You go back to the '90s Pizza Hut. You bring the red cups back. You bring the look back from the '90s. Do lower the prices, of course, and then do some of that. And I think people will be coming like crazy to that sounds wrong, but you know what I mean, to Pizza Hut.
that would get people back to Pizza Hut. You'll come like crazy for our pizza.
This is why they need to hire me as their brand manager. No, but I'm saying if you take it back to the '90s,
So good.
give them that look. I'm not talking anymore.
Give them that look, and they'll come like crazy for your pizza.
I'm done speaking. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
well,
not talking.
so some of the Pizza Huts, and this is, we're side tangent, but it's all related because all these restaurants have basically become enshittified, just like the internet has become enshittified because they're all chasing.
Everything is becoming shitified.
Yeah, they're all chasing maximum profit, right? So what they're doing is they're basically seeing how much they can get away with, right? And so
And how far they can push people until they stop coming. Disney's been doing it don't make a joke. Disney's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, Disney that's why I said this guy, he go to the College of Knowledge or something, because that is how Disney does it. And so what happens is, if you really dig into the numbers, you find out that they have fewer and fewer customers. They're just charging the people that are left more. And they like it that way because if they don't have as many people coming to their parks, they don't have to hire as many employees. They don't have to spend as much in maintenance. They don't have to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if they could literally just get one whale coming to the park every year, that's like, oh, this Sultan's going to drop freaking billions of dollars or whatever. And that's
why would
more,
you spend billions of dollars at a Disney park?
I don't know, because they have it. So, what I'm saying, well, they are. They're going to build one in Abu Dhabi. But, what I'm saying
different.
is, but if they could get those whales, and that's what they were going for, and that literally was what Bob Iger was going for, because we were in Disney media when they were trying to pivot to upper class. And that was this is the exact same mindset. They were like, oh, we're finding most of our customers have disposable income. Well, no shit, because a middle class family with 8 kids or whatever, they're not going to drop, $20,000 on a vacation every year.
But that's the problem. These CEOs look at it. That of course they're making multiple times over what the average family is, what their own employees make.
Yes.
And they're like, we'll just go after them harder. And it's people don't have it. They're not. They're gonna support a place that offers good food, and a lot of them are local restaurants. Good food for good value that is actually going to give them good service and something that's good, as opposed to corporate slop.
This mindset, I saw this too. You talk about people being out of touch, and I think that's where a lot of this comes from. They don't fully understand what the average person goes through. So to them, it's just like numbers on a spreadsheet. But I worked for a marketing company. Once I was doing work for them, and they were doing like high-end dental cosmetics. And the head of that company was talking about, just very kind of flippantly, like, oh yeah, well, this procedure is like $35,000 and this one's like $55,000. And I'm like, just to make your teeth look a little nicer, it was like cosmetic dentistry. And I'm like, and they were trying to send mailers out to like average like retirees and stuff like that. I'm like, normal people, especially retirees, don't have an extra $35,000 to $55,000 laying around to like completely replace their teeth with whatever the hell you're trying to sell. I'm like, that's ridiculous. It's a car.
Disney would do the same thing. They'd be like, we're going to have this special and we're going to drop it like 6 weeks from when we're going to start booking it. And it's like, you understand most people have to take like years to plan for a Disney trip now, right? You can't just.
They don't understand it. I can tell
drop
you.
Everything and go,
No, they don't. Because we would go to these shindigs and they'd talk to the people and we'd, eat with these people, whatever. I can tell you at Disney, I don't know if it's still the case now, but they are so out of touch. They really, truly believe that people could just drop everything they're doing and go take a $20,000 vacation. Like on the, like, oh, we'll offer a deal. And, it's only good for like the next, 6 weeks because bookings are down. I'm like, people have to plan for a year or more. They have to ask for time off work. I mean, where do you think the money comes from? And that they want these independently wealthy marks,
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they're looking for, and it's insane.
But $100,000 in the grand scheme of things, it sounds like a lot, especially like where I'm from. That would be a lot of money. But it's like, you have to consider too, like you mentioned, people have multiple kids. They might make that much money on paper, but until you figure they have like 3 kids, 4 kids, or whatever, it's not a lot of money in daycare and stuff like that. They're not coming before. They're sure as hell not going to keep coming when they hear this. You're just going to fleece them. They're just not gonna show up.
Yeah, but that's the thinking of corporate America now, is it's just maximum
Corporate
profits.
America could go fuck themselves.
So now this is coming from Yahoo Finance. This seems like a very different story. They said Chipotle is sacrificing profit in 2026 to win back customers. Sounds to me like the CEO's like, we're going to charge as much as we want. But they said, yeah, if your local Chipotle seems slightly less crowded recently, you're not imagining things. Restaurant chains saw transactions slump 3.2% in
wonder
Q4,
why.
with comparable sales dipping 2.5% for all of 2025. Comparable sales were down 1.7%. Once a fast casual wonderkind, Chipotle is now struggling to get customers in the door. Well, when your CEO's out there saying, hey, let's gouge the richies, that's not good. And Chipotle is not exactly like, look, if you're making really good money, you can eat anywhere. Chipotle is not the top of the list for most people. I'm just saying. They said they expect comparable sales to be flat. That would be an improvement, but would also be the first step in the company's plan to rekindle growth. So that's where this guy comes in, the CEO. It's like, oh, sales are flat, so just charge people more. I'm like, oh, that's going to work out real well for you. It's going to work out so well. Yeah, they said a big part of that plan is to shield its customers from inflation, absorbing higher costs to keep prices low. Bullshit. He just said we're going to charge them more. They want to keep customers.
I'm not surprised. I mean, that's what they're all doing. Like, I'm confused. I guess, why is this a surprise?
Yeah, they're all struggling right now. All these food, because nobody's going out. Right. So they're all struggling. People can't afford groceries. They're not going to go out to eat all the time. And then you had, like I said, Wendy's, all fast food places, which were supposed to be an economical option for people. Right. They're all charging through the nose. And Taco Bell, until very recently, was fucking ridiculous. It used to be Taco Bell was like poor college kid chow. And, I used to eat Taco Bell in my early 20s all the time because it was cheap. I used to go Subway because it was cheap.
The thing is, a lot of the quality wasn't any different. That's just it. Like, it's if it had better quality, okay, maybe. But a lot of the quality hasn't changed, just the prices keep going up. And then, so I'm not surprised that they're losing. They're trying to sacrifice profits to win back customers. Well, it doesn't sound like that when he's saying what he's saying. It's not about just the prices. The stuff isn't good. People are, I can't tell you how people were commenting about how bad the restaurants are.
Yeah, and they're getting worse all the time. That's like I keep telling the kids, and they don't believe me because they were never there during the peak of Long John Silver's. Long John Silver's used to be pretty good. I don't even know if there are any Long John Silver's left. Like, all the ones around here have disappeared, but they used to actually be good. They used to be clean. They used to be a good value. I mean, God, we watch these 80s like Christmas commercials and stuff. Like, I love watching 80s commercials. And they're like this beautiful meal that looks like something you get from Red Lobster for like $3.99. Right. And now Red Lobster is comparable to Long John Silver's in the 80s. That's kind of where we're at. And it's just like, and you're paying, then not only do you have to pay for the food prices are ridiculous. The food is subpar. The service sometimes is subpar. And then you have to pay a tip on top of that. Like, it's just, people are just, they're over it. And I think the pandemic actually broke a lot of people of having to go out to eat. And we saw so many restaurants, go out of business and stuff too. But then you have people that didn't want to go back to work. So we had restaurants around us closed because they couldn't get their employees back. They wouldn't go back to work. I don't know. I mean, whoever we get at the end of the day, we're just going to have like McDonald's, Walmart, and Amazon. Is that
it's like the Demolition Man.
Yeah. Taco Bell. Which I'm surprised because I'm like, man, but Taco Bell is actually, they're getting their shit together. I'll give them that. They actually have some, $2, $3 things, but it used to be you could eat like a king at Taco Bell for $5. And that is not the case now. So let's talk about Cracker Barrel. These guys, I mean, God, what a shit show this is. Cracker Barrel's controversial dining rules for employees explained. If you work at Cracker Barrel, you better love eating at Cracker Barrel when you're on the road. Well, You know,
Well,
Dave
most people
Thomas.
that work at Cracker Barrel that's going to be out eating are going to be people that are like corporate. It's not going to be
Corporate.
the basic people.
Salespeople or whatever.
Yeah. And now this was supposed to be from a leaked email.
A
or
leaked
whatever.
email. Yes, this comes from the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah.
They said that they leaked a Cracker Barrel message instructing employees to postpone work. Okay, so this is what's concerning.
That's the part that gets me the most.
Postpone work travel until late 2026, but if they travel, they should head to their nearest chicken fried chain, Cracker Barrel, to eat. Employees are expected to dine at Cracker Barrel for all or the majority of their meals while traveling whenever practical based on location and schedule. So yeah, if there isn't a Cracker Barrel, you know, what are you going to do? The move, according to the publication, is driven by the chain's various struggles over its attempted and ultimately reversed logo makeover, which caused the stock to plummet. Additionally, Cracker Barrel tells employees it won't pay for alcohol. Yeah, because it's expensive. Exceptions.
Why do you want your why should a company be paying for their corporate people to go get sloshed?
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to pay for alcohol? They could potentially go to a meeting afterwards and mess up.
Well, I mean, look, okay,
That
so
one I agree with, honestly.
as a corporate guy, well, one, I can tell you this is 100%, this is cost cutting, belt tightening.
Oh, 100%. Zero, I have zero doubt.
Which they're not, I could tell the one company I worked at right before I got laid off, we started doing shit like this. But they also started reining in the expense reports because we had salespeople going out there racking up, $500 meals, lunches, like for like 3 people. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah,
what
and
the
they
hell
didn't
are you
have
doing?
to. They were just taking advantage too. So
Right.
that could be going on as well. When it comes to this, though, they're trying to claim that this policy has been in place for a while. And even if that's true, okay, let's just, for argument's sake, say it's true. Okay, why are you still telling people not to travel until later in 2026?
Right.
That's right there. That's the question.
And if you do fly, use Spirit Airlines. Wait, are they still around? I thought they went out of business.
I don't know. I think they got bought out or something. I don't know.
Oh my God. Yeah. So the rules were being criticized on social media, with one ex-user dubbing the rules belt tightening and another writing, "We're officially one quarterly report away from companies asking us to hitchhike to the offsite."
Yeah, well, that's exactly how it's coming across. So they're
Yeah.
trying to say, oh, no, that's not what it means. It's a longstanding policy. Okay, yeah. Okay, maybe it is a longstanding policy because you don't want to pay for it, and it's easier just to have it written through the company card that way. That being said, the no travel until later 2026 still there, and that right there is more of a warning sign to me than the other stuff.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's a long-standing rule. Well, yeah, since June of 2024, when it was obvious Cracker Barrel was having problems.
So that's when the longstanding rule started, June?
Yeah, June 2024.
Yeah. Okay, Jan. Yeah, this whole thing is because
So a year and a
they're going
half.
down the
A year and a
shitter.
half. It's going down the shitter, and I'm sure it's speeding up exponentially since the disastrous rebrand. But they said the cost-cutting measure and others like it have been dubbed travel scrimping, a term coined by expense management company SAP Concor in its 2025 Global Business Travel Survey.
Well, this has been going on for a long time. This isn't
Yeah.
a new thing.
This
I mean,
isn't-
not just a Cracker Barrel. I mean, across the board. When the money gets tight and people are taking advantage,
People are taking advantage. Yes.
they will tighten their belt on these kinds of things. I mean, maybe the flip side of this is maybe the food will get better because if they have to eat there, that maybe they'll stop cutting corners so much, because they don't want to eat the shitty food that they're putting out themselves.
I think, yeah, no, I think you should be forced to eat your own cooking, right? You should taste your own cooking, take your own medicine, right? Is that what they say? Like if people won't eat at their own locations, that was like that Campbell's soup guy that was talking about how he wouldn't buy Campbell's soup because it was, shit for poor people or whatever. I'm like, yeah, if you won't even eat the product and you're sitting there, whining and dining this dude at this restaurant to how many hundreds of dollars for lunch, probably with a bunch of, martinis and whatever. And, yeah. So, but I know this is a precursor to layoffs. I know this is a precursor to a possible sale because I've been through it before. When a company's in trouble, when they basically put the brakes on spending anything above and beyond just keeping the lights on, they're in panic mode. And they're looking at last year's numbers and they're like, oh shit, and how much money is Jim spending on his margaritas on every business trip? Yeah, we gotta curtail that because we don't
Hey,
have
here's
it.
my thing too. If the CEO is like C-level people are out, they need to be following this rule as well.
Yes.
And then same for their board members. If they're out there having a board member dinner, well, you better be having it at Cracker
Better be a
Barrel.
Cracker Barrel.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's just fair. I mean,
They're
that
going
just
to
makes
Chipotle.
sense. Why would you want to go? Supposed to you believe your product so much, and you think they're being maligned unfairly. Why would you want to spend money to go someplace else and pay a lot more money?
Well, there you go, Chipotle. You could have
Yeah,
a
let's see him
discount.
eating there every day.
No, you could have a deal for Cracker Barrel employees. Hey, come to Chipotle. We'll give you like $10 off.
No, I want to see this. I want to see Chipotle take all their managers and salespeople and stuff in their C-suite have to eat at their own restaurants, and let's see how fast stuff changes. They want people $100,000 a year and over, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. Make your own people eat there and see how fast your food changes.
I was just thinking, like, see how fast they add bathrooms to corporate if they have to eat there every day. I don't know. It's just it's wild. I mean, people look at companies too as just being a piggy bank, and they look at the companies look at the customers as being a piggy bank, and basically nobody's interested in building sustainable businesses anymore, which is a damn shame. Like, I don't know what the problem is.
Their logo looks like a red hole. So
All right, let's wrap this up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
bye.